within them to be sovereign and autonomous and chart their own path, not being dictated by the agendas of people that would steal away what it means to be a man. Better men choosing to be good at being a man. This is the Better Man channel, where it's about improving in every area of your life, exhibiting the masculine qualities of manhood and embodying your true nature to excel in every area of your life. I was recently looking over Jack Donovan's book, The Way of Men. And he talks about the difference between being a good man and being good at being a man. And he says that being a good man requires to be moral and ethic and uphold the values of society and the way that it's structured. And he talks about the men of ideas in this category, that often men of action come to seek counsel from priests and shamans and historical figures and scientific figures. The man of ideas, the intellectual minded men that can abstract ideas and begin to contemplate and meditate upon the importance of those ideas. And he says that being a good man is required in society to uphold the code and the structures of society. But also we need men of action. And when we pit these against each other, we lose the synergy, the dynamics between these two. In culture, we need men that are good at being men, that can uphold some morals and some ethics and are able to abstract ideas out of different philosophies and ideologies. But we also need men of action, because he states that if you're only concerned with being good at being a man, meaning that you want to uphold the morals and the structural conditionings of your culture and society that you're in, then you make a good slave. Because we need men of action. We need men that are good at being men. Men that are strong, assertive, and dominant, and strong-willed, upholding that true innate characteristic within them to be sovereign and autonomous and chart their own path, not being dictated by the agendas of people that would steal away what it means to be a man in search of some utopian socialistic world. And we live in a culture today where men are no longer being good at being men. Testosterone levels are down. Strength and grip levels are down. We see the term toxic masculinity, where we're pushing the very characteristics that make men and society conducive to grow and expand and to be strong. That's all being pushed to the boundaries, man. And we want to see these gender roles be diminished so that we live in this utopian equality-like state that's never going to exist. Because what happens when you steal away people's identities? They're confused, and when you're confused, you're going to begin to lash out, looking and searching for something to cling to that gives you an identity. And we see this in culture today, the riotous behaviors, the entitled ignorance behaviors of so many, because we're stealing away our identities. In culture, it's important that each gender has its role and the strengths that are correlated with those roles. And as men, we not only need to be good at being a good, productive citizen. We need to have standards to uphold. We need to be man of ideas and abstraction. But we also need to be man of action, that know our true nature, that know our strengths, that have that intrinsic nature of manhood resonating within us. In order to be a better man, we've got to be able to have that productive synergy, those dynamics between the man of ideas, upholding the standards and the morals and the codes that we need to follow in order to grow and expand and to keep order. But we also need to be man of action that can assert the dominant, assertive alpha maleness that we need in order to uphold our society. Because without man of action, we become susceptible to attacks from outside sources. And on that note, without men of ideas, then we don't have the philosophies and ideologies to uphold our standards. We need both. But if you're only concerned with being good or being a good man like society wants to impose upon men these days, then you make yourself a good slave, because you're just going to go along with the assembly line of what you're taught to do. And then you're going to be brainwashed into their agenda. We need men of action that can not only uphold the standards of men of ideas, but we can also revolt against those when needed. We know the difference between right and wrong, and we have the backbone to uphold those beliefs. We need men of ideas, but more importantly, we need men of action that can uphold those and combat those when needed. Every day we have an opportunity to be the man that upholds these good ideas and these good codes, but have the backbone to stand up for what's right and to stand against what's wrong. And that is truly what it means to be a man, especially in today's climate where we need more men to stand up for being good at being a man and the characteristics that embody that very nature of manhood. I love you guys. You will hear from me next episode.